identify as gay at a young age because I was feminine and as fuck. Like, I like pink, I like Barbie dolls. You couldn't tell me nothing. However, I grew up in a Caribbean household, so let's put some context on that.
You said Jamaican.
Okay, let's put some context on first generation. So I'm talking about they fresh off, like, come on, off the boat, and coming off in a time where, like, they didn't even know the word nigga until they got here. Like, my mom would talk about, like, her first time hearing the word nigga was when she landed. She was like, what the fuck? She went to American College. But
wait, you said your dad's Jamaican, and where's your mom from?
No, my mom is Jamaican and my dad is Trinidadian. Gotcha. So my mom is Jamaican from, like, St. Catherine Brown Hall, so that's a parish. My Trinidadian side is on, like, Picky Valley. So if you from Trinidad and Tobago, you know where that is. Okay, boom. And so, like, I spent most of my upbringings with my mom and then split half of the time with my dad in Jersey, Irvington. So most of my upbringing, so Bushwick girl. Okay. So Bushwick, Brooklyn. So if you went this way, you was Bed-Stuy, and if you went that way, you was Queens, Ridgewood, and if you went that way, you was like Cobble Hill, Queens.
So how were they with you growing up?
So my mom and my dad wasn't together. You know what I mean? So they were separated. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So most of my time was with my mom, and I call it the strong pillars of women, like my aunt and my grandma. Yeah. And so my upbringing was like learning like how to just like be what they wanted me to be. And so like I knew I was assigned male, right? And so they was like, you boy, you like blue. Yes.
Which is the problem with gender reveal parties, by the way. I really don't support those a lot, because now what you're doing, you're assigning this baby before this baby is even fucking born, right? You're assigning this person a gender, and it's like, how do you know that's what she's going to? They are going to identify.
I still got this picture from back in the day where like we had went to the zoo and we had got face match child. I was like, my face was beat, honey. Yeah. I was like that's when I knew that I was clear. I like makeup and stuff like, and that doesn't define like me as a woman, like makeup and liking that stuff. I feel like anybody could like makeup because that's what it is. Yeah. But like there's a picture of me in a t-shirt, but I'm wearing it because it's long like a skirt, and I'm like got my like the hey girl hey pose.
How old were you when you took that picture?
I was like 5 years old, just coming from the zoo. And so like folks know who they are or like have an idea of energy and who they want to be. However, if you're being guided by adults and how they've been taught from their like lenses, right, and how boys are supposed to be so that they can be men, right. And so what we tell men is that men have to be a provider. Men cannot cry, and anything out of that, right, especially black men, and to take it like a man, whatever come your way, just take that shit. And so for me, like I was clear, like I don't feel that way, and I was also clear at the young age. I'm like, oh, I like this girl, but I like him more.
How were they accepting of you? Because you said you considered yourself a gay man.
Well, so that's the thing. I had never come out, whatever that may be, because and the fact that we have to say come out is a clear identity that this world is a heterosexual world.
Yes, it is.
And that it's sexism world, right? So like the fact that I have to say I came out, what the fuck? Straight people don't gotta come out. The fuck?
I'm already here.
I'm already here. Like you didn't see me. Like it's not my fault. You made policies around all this identity that you taught it exists, but now I gotta come out. The fuck? So like
gay people have to continue to come out. I tell people, you just don't come out once.
Right. So that's the thing. In every area of your life, for example, like I may be a police officer, right? And I'm with the boys. Say if I identify as a male, and I'm with the boys, and they're like, yeah, my wife and we was fucking these bitches, and like, so you're about to bag your girl, and here you are in this moment being a male but also gay, and everyone's just talking about how they're about to get some pussy, for example. And you're like, no, I like booty and dick. Right. So how do you know? So now you then have to come out.
It's so awkward.
And hope. Right. Now you have to come out and hope that you are not isolated or shamed, or like now they're like, oh, I can't be around him because now he's gonna hit me. Right. Like, bitch, not everybody's attracted to you.
I think that's one of the biggest things that I hear from hetero men. It's like, oh, you know, nah, these gay niggas, you know, they like me. And I'm like, you're not even that cute, bro. Relax. Not everybody wants your ass.
And even if you was cute, you have autonomy to be like, nah, I'm not with it, and still be cool and show up in love. Like I feel like folks just can't be loving and just like be like, let me vibe with you. Fuck all like who you like and what you like. I'm rocking with you because I'm rocking with you.
Exactly. I tell you know, this is why I'm not attracted to straight men. For example, like some people actually go after that, and I don't.
No.
But yeah, it's just like
they're looking at you like what?
For that for that ignorant ass thinking, because they all think the gay man wants you. It's just like, you don't want every bitch that's walking this planet,
Queens
right?
Just came into the
and
room.
just we just yeah, it's a whole bunch of people just came in the studio. I'm like, who the fuck is this? So,
what's up, y'all?
all right.
Hello.
But
so going back to. So, because you didn't know what you knew that you liked men, but you didn't know.
I didn't have the language. That's the piece,
right?
Yeah.
Right. So here's the thing. Like, I remember it was like 4th grade. I was in Miss Brody class. Shout out to Miss Brody. I was in Miss Brody class, and like I was struggling in school because I was being bullied for being feminine.
Okay.
And so like there was a moment like where my grades was like dropping and stuff like that. And so like I'm sitting down.
What would they say?
And they would be like, you know, they would use fag. I'm like, who is teaching these babies? Like, I look back, I'm like, who is teaching these babies about the word fag or gays? I'm like, oh, because their fathers probably be talking or their moms be talking like that. And so automatically folks is like, you're gay, because they attach, well, if you have femininity in something that we say is identified as a male, then automatically you're gay, or you're a fat fag is what they use it, or sissy. And so like, everywhere I go, I guess I had a lot of twitch in my hip, a little sachet, a little talk, a little sweetness in my voice.
Honey, if you haven't changed, I can tell.
Baby,
you're a bad bitch.
Thank you.
I tell people, you know, kids are born, they're the purest form of energy, right? They have been tainted by the world or anything like that, right? They are naturally expressing themselves the way they are supposed to be. And everybody's born with masculine and feminine energy. For example, Carla was born about 70% of masculine energy. And she still identifies as straight. So that doesn't...
And woman.
As woman,
exactly.
right. So that doesn't have anything to do with who you're attracted to, just because I can be a masculine, I mean, I can be a heterosexual male and be feminine as fuck. It doesn't necessarily make me gay.
Exactly.
So, yes.
And bitch, trust me, there have been times when like I'm like, oh, he's gay. They're like, no, that's his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Quickly get
you
into it.
sure?
So even in that, like, because I was taught the same thing, so I was conditioned. So imagine me perpetuating the same thing. Like there's a thing like internalized phobia, right? So internalized homophobia, internalized transphobia. So imagine me also being conditioned while people were telling me who I was,
right?
And me showing up there. So I'm like, through like the ages of like 7 to 17, me liking boys, attracted to boys, and not saying anything.
Did you date anybody?
Oh yeah, bitch.
Oh, so okay. Well,
now let me be clear. Dating for women is much different from community dating. It's like, bitch.
Oh, trust me, I know. I learned with this motherfucker right here.
Because y'all be like, you're dating, y'all be like, y'all courting. Like, no, dating is like, let's hook up, let's meet somewhere.
I learned with this one quick, because you gotta take me out to eat, baby. We gotta have some conversations. We're gonna go to the club.
But that's cute.
This one is like, what's your name? Here's my dick pic.
But say that's the thing. That's cute for someone straight, because y'all have a world where you can exist that way. If you black and you gay, like, you have to find safe spaces. It's almost like, and I say it's always something I don't like to conflate, but there's parallels like when you're black and you're in a white world. Does that make sense? So like, think about it. If it was segregation, black people had to find safe places where they can love, create joy, and just be. So when we're in this world of like,
you're not accepted.
Right. So imagine, because you don't want, first of all, if I'm like, for example, if I'm gay and I want to chill with a male, like somebody who I'm trying to get with, and I'm at the a party where mostly straight folks is, I gotta be looking around to see who's gonna say some smart shit, rather than being present with the person I'm trying to get to know.
Or just sock you in the face like you do in the Caribbean.
I told her when we went to a pool party, and she tells me like, you know, hey, I'm pretty sure there's some gay people there in this space. I'm like, even if it was someone that was gay and I'm attracted to them, I wouldn't feel comfortable sitting here, you know, trying to meet them and, you know, interchange information, because for one, all eyes are going to be on us. I don't know who's going to say something ignorant and all this other stuff. But going back to what you were saying about courting and being young and dating, you know, I did have that experience, because I came out when I started practicing sex and everything like that, and my family allowed that space for me to actually court and go on dates and everything like that before it came to a sexual space.
I'm Caribbean.
A lot of my peers, right, they fuck immediately. That's the first thing they do. It ain't like going to the movies and all this other stuff. So yeah.
So like, what ended up happening was like, at 17 is when I essentially came out, but prior to that, from the ages of like, I think 13 to like just starting high school, 14 or whatever the case may be, I had met this lesbian girl. Her mom was dope. She was Panamanian. So I was like, yes, I found like somebody who was like Caribbean, but she was like, fuck that, I like guys and girls. And I'm like, she's only 13 years, and her mom was like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And so I would hang around with her all the time, and that's when I was like, oh, I can be myself.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
that was your safe space.
That was my safe space, to the point that my mom was, I remember my mom called, her mom was like, Mrs. So-and-so, I don't know who you is, right? But I know what kind of parent would leave their child. Like, she was going off.
Did she think y'all was fucking? You and the girl?
No, but her point was like, why my child hasn't been home in 4 days? Like, I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. I'm at so-and-so's house or whatever the case may be. I'm good. But it was because, like, I was struggling with being home. Like, being home was depressing because I didn't have the words or the language to be like, Mom, let me sit down and have a talk with you.
So when did you actually figure out these words? Was it that day with your friend in college?
No, I mean, like, you know the words. Like, you know, because everyone is telling you that you're not like me, so you're gay. So I knew what gay was because everyone's telling me that I'm gay, but I hadn't accept that term, which granted, because that wasn't it. It was like, no, I'm actually having a gender identity.
Right, because there's a difference from you being gay to you being a trans woman. So
as gay?
No, hell no. I just said I love all genders. So my sexuality.
Well, you just found this out this weekend.
Well, shit, bitch, don't tell you like that.
Said she wasn't gonna say nothing.
I just said, you see,
the bitch don't listen.
She messy.
She will spill your tea in a fucking minute.
Okay, bitch,
I just want to tell this bitch nothing.
Oh shit, I'm 30. I'm about to be 30. Shit, I can't live this type of life.
So when are we doing the transition? Oh, I'm sorry. When you said you were at FIT and your friend was outed,
right?
Is that when you decided that this is me? This is what I want to do?
Right. So I'm gonna give you the age. So 17 is when I came out as gay. Okay. I tell my mom she was cooking. Don't ever do that, y'all, because like. Caribbean.
I told my mom when she was cooking too.
Bitch, that is not the time to tell people. I'm like, this is a hot stove, and Caribbean.
Oh, we was cutting collard greens.
Right.
We didn't cook yet. Didn't get in the water.
No. She had the stove. I remember she was making like because my favorite dish is ackee and salfit, like traditional.
Ooh, I love
with
that shit.
provision. Well, other Trinidad say Parisian, but it's like steamed dumplings, yams.
Okay, bitch, stop. I'm hungry.
Right. And so I'm telling her, I was like, Mom, come. I want to tell you something in the room. I was like, well, you know how you? Because at the time, I'm like, child, I had bad girlfriends, like badass girl, like gorgeous, like
were you fucking
black
them?
and Asian. No.
Oh,
it was for the look. It was for the fashion.
They identify bad.
It was like for me to navigate in a safe way, bitch. I'm like, okay, if they see I have a good girlfriend. However, there was this girl LaDonna that I really liked, but that I wasn't much of it. She ended up messing with this guy named Derek on the Love was Valentine's. Something happened, and I saw them kiss. I was like, bitch, what the fuck? I ain't in a relationship.
I'm supposed to be your boyfriend, bitch.
And then she gave me a letter, was like, sorry, whatever case, I should never treat you like that. I'm like, bitch, thank you. You just freed my soul. right. And so that year, I actually came up to my mom. Was like, you know how are you always acting like, oh, you're gonna find a girlfriend? And I always like kind of cringe and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, well, Mom, I'm actually attracted to guys. Boom. So now fast forward to college when I'm in FIT, my junior year. So college was like bomb ass because this is when I start wearing makeup. I'm talking about like smoky eyes, beating my face. Cause I'm like, I'm with a lot of Asian white folks who's just like, their parents is like, yes, my baby's queer. You know, go ahead, Tommy, do whatever you want to do. Yes. And so I'm like, bitch, I want to have liberation the way these people are moving. So catch, mind you, I did not dorm. So I'm putting that for a reason. I did not dorm. However, my black ass had a locker. And so I would pack my clothes from Monday through Friday, literally to Saturday. And I would shower in the locker room and then sleep in.
Sleep where?
And sleep in the computer room because it was 24 hours, girl.
Oh.
And so I would have my makeup and be my fit. And after that, I got tired of doing all of that. So I just
How long did you do that for?
For about the first year.
And you did that because?
No, a matter of fact, for about the whole. And
you just said you wouldn't have to go home and they would see you and your makeup?
Because I lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn, before Bushwick, Brooklyn turned into like Williamsburg, whatever they want to call it. I lived in Bushwick, Brooklyn, which is next to Bed-Stuy. Well, bitch, at some point I was like, bitch, if we gonna fight, we gonna fight. It is what it is. Like at that point, I had reached that point. I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna fight, but I'm not gonna fight fairly. So I always had like mace, dog mace. I had like socks filled with Vienna canned sausage and coins. Keep your peace, like bitch, it was always like everybody was like, "Why your bag so heavy?" Because bitch, I got tools. I got resources.
But what's crazy is that you have these not just for your safety, but just because if someone were to find out who you are and what you feel and who you truly are, you have to defend yourself.
So here's the thing: because I grew up in Brooklyn and Bushwick, and everyone was always saying I was gay, and I was trying not to be gay. Eventually, when I wore makeup, they was like, "See, bitch, I knew that he was." Come on, how nobody knows. See, we told you. And so at that point, because everybody was saying, I was like, well, if you're saying it, then I'm gonna be who the fuck I want to be. And so now I'm coming in with like tight. This is when like Kanye West came out with the tight pants and you remember the legging pants? Forgot. So I had that. I was wearing blazers with this deep V-neck shirt, and then I would paint my face like in a way like, baby, you look like I had dipped in glitter. Like,
so how'd your family react when you walked in like
my
that?
mom was like, I got your back. You know, that was the thing. Like my mom, she was like, you know what, you only, this has always been my mom saying like, you only got one life to live it your way. So I can't tell you how to live. Like I've lived my life.
Because I think of Pose when she came out and the mom was like, get out. And I feel like
that was the fear. That's what took me so long to even say something, because I had already authored in my head what the scenario would look like. So imagine that anxiety in a child, like, shit, if I come out, I may lose security in housing, food, and education, right? So we don't even talk about like that's like going to school and then you come out to your class and then you experience school push out, right? We don't so school push out is a mixture of bullying and then not having support, right? So you get bullied and then the teachers, because the teachers are also straight, then like, I don't believe this, so I don't even know how to support this baby with empathy and love to support this child to navigate spaces, right? And so I was experiencing school push out, but support from my mom. And so my mom had no problem with coming to school. Oh, somebody touched you, I'm coming up. Like what?
As it should be.
As it should be. Until like colleges, when like I had my agency of mine, because I'm an adult now. So she's like, you got to live your life, have fun. You're an adult. Do what you need to do. Just be safe.
Now, how do you realize? Because you're saying you're dressing up, you're putting makeup on, but isn't there a difference between a man who likes to dress up
that's the thing,
and likes to wear it to a trans woman,
a drag queen versus a trans woman.
Exactly. But here's the thing: I didn't have that language. I didn't know what trans woman. The only trans woman that I knew, and I'm gonna keep it real, because we're talking to folks who straight folks, and that's how they view as well.
Who is it?
Because media shapes what we know.
Yes,
was Jerry Springer.
Oh wait, Jerry Springer's a drag?
No,
Jerry Springer.
What?
The episode.
He's trans?
No. Follow me. So Jerry Springer. No. Follow me.
Girl,
help her, Jesus.
Please.
Help her.
So I thought I learned some new shit today. Okay, go ahead.
So, like, for example, like on Jerry Springer, there will always be this episode on Maury Povey. Remember that show? There will always be an episode like, this gorgeous woman, but it's a boy.
Oh, yes. They would bring out 10 of them and figure out who's a man and who's a... I didn't realize how problematic that was.
Right.
Oh, my God. That was one of my favorite episodes, bitch. I'd be like, number 3's a man.
Because we get so excited about this deception,